This is the Everything Under $10 tag. It was created by Tati, known as Glam Life Guru. So let's go. Okay, no shocker, Ready, Set, Gorgeous foundation. I am using one of the brushes from the Coastal Scents. I think it's called the Pearl Handled Travel Set, which actually, I think this might be part of the container that comes with it. It's a really nice brush set, and it's very inexpensive. I don't use every brush in the set, just because nobody really needs to use every single one, but I use a lot of them for a lot of different reasons. And they're really nice. They wash well. I like them. I've mentioned them many times before. Now, I don't really use this all that often anymore now that I've discovered MAC Prep and Prime, but a close, I wouldn't say it's a dupe, but a similar drugstore alternative is the Maybelline Dream Lumi. I think this is the shade actually Radiant Light, and it has definitely a pink-ish undertone. I definitely prefer this to the Instant Age Rewind from the same brand. This is a little wetter formula, and I feel like it's much better on my dry skin. It doesn't seem to sit on the fine lines like the Instant Age Rewind does. All right, that's just to cancel out the darkness. Back to an oldie but goodie. Probably shouldn't still be using this. I don't know how old it is, but it's still available. I could get a new one. This is the Rimmel 2-in-1 Concealer and Highlighter. This is the shade 230. Just paint that right on underneath and on top of the Maybelline Dream Lumi. This is good stuff. It does come in a slightly lighter shade, but this will do too. Probably could have gone with a lighter shade, but this is the one I found in my collection. I have two of my Maybelline Fit Me's here. I kind of go between 10 and 15, so I'm gonna go with 15. That's a little too much. Oh, perfect. Okay, we're gonna stick with this shade. For drugstore concealers, I still think so far the Maybelline Fit Me is my favorite. I feel like it's the creamiest. It gives you the best coverage. For blemishes anyway, I think this is my favorite. Okay, I'm gonna use two different powders to set my under eye. I am using the e.l.f. contour palette. I'm using, not this shade. This shade is the yellowish powder. I love this palette. The only shade I don't really go for is the bronzer shade here. I have another bronzer I like better, but I'm really digging this yellow shade, and I'm just using a Real Techniques setting brush and actually using a brush for its intended purpose, and I'm setting my under eye. I love it. Then with a big fluffy brush, this is the blush brush actually from Real Techniques, and this might actually be more than $10, but it's a drugstore brush, and maybe with a coupon or something it's less, so it's close, right? I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild. It's actually a bronzer, Reserve Your Cabana. Some people say this is a dupe for the Hourglass Diffuse Light powder, which I also use as a setting powder. I think it's similar. Dupe, maybe not so much. It's close. It's definitely close. So that's all set. Now we go to contour. Back to the e.l.f. palette. Love this thing. Back to Real Techniques. I don't know if this is still available. Definitely got this as a holiday set. So back to, I think this is, yes, it is called a fan brush. Dipping that into the cool toned contour shade here. And sucking it in and tilting it down. Can you see the lines? I can see the lines. And just using the edge of that brush to kind of contour. I don't contour every day, mostly only when I film, to be perfectly honest. Because who has time to do this every day? I do not. So just a little bit there. And I do this step before I bronze because, why? Because Then if I've done it a little too much, then I take the bronzer brush and kind of use that to buff in the contour. And then I go along my jawline to hide any joweling that is occurring. Just another fun part of aging, because that's happening. And then just to balance things out, I don't have like a particularly large forehead, but if you're gonna contour here, just to balance it out. We'll do a little along the edges here. I've started to consider contouring my nose, but then I've decided I've gone this long with my nose looking the way it has, why start now? So all that is done. It's very subtle. Back to Wet n Wild, another bronzer. This is, what is this? Bikini Contest, I love these names. And another brush from that Coastal Scents set, big fluffy brush. They don't have names, but I think this is supposed to be the powder brush. And just kind of going over and above and below where I had the contour, and just the classic E and 3 shape. A little higher up under the cheeks to where the sun would have hit it if I didn't use sunscreen and laid out in the sun, which I don't. I use sunscreen, I don't lay out in the sun. And now I kind of look healthy. All right, more stuff to go on the face. Now I do the highlight, and this is the Makeup Revolution Radiant Lights in Exhale. And back to the Real Techniques setting brush for this. This is not normally the highlight brush I use. You know I love the Wayne Goss brush, the O2 brush, but that is most definitely not $10 or less. So, ooh, I should have brought, Sonia Kashuk makes a really good small duo fiber stippling brush, and it's pretty close to 10. Maybe it's $7.99 actually. That's my favorite. I forgot about that one. I'm laying this on maybe a little too thick, but it's really pretty. Ooh, wow. Yeah, too much highlight. So pretty though. I'm gonna do a little bit here and a little bit at the end of my nose. And let's tone it down a little, shall we? I'm gonna grab my foundation brush and just do this. Blend it in a little, because we're not going to the disco, we're just gonna go watch a football game. Okay, then I'll tell you what I was gonna do with my blush. I had brought the CoverGirl Classic Blush in Soft Mink. That's usually what I wear, but I've got a lot of glowiness going. The setting powder has some glow to it. The highlighter I clearly went a little crazy with. So I decided to use a matte blush. And I admittedly was influenced by Leanne Says' video, and she used a blush from this line. This is the Milani powder blush in Tea Rose. It is very pretty. And I'm using a Real Techniques brush, which definitely comes in under $10 because it's part of a set. And I've been using this forever. It's the Multitask brush. This is my everyday blush brush. Just dipping it in, tapping it off, and lightly brushing that up onto the cheekbone and blending it a little bit with the highlighter, as I always do. All right, now we're onto the eyes, and this is the same no matter what tutorial or tag I'm doing. It's the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, and popping that on each eye. My favorite brow pencil, period, aside from the Anastasia brow pencil, will be the NYX Micro Pencil, and it is in the shade Taupe. It's a very similar concept, probably the same thing, but in my head, I still think the Anastasia one's better. I should probably do it. I have an idea for a video. I'm gonna do one eyebrow with the NYX. I'm gonna do one eyebrow with the Anastasia. I'm not gonna tell you which one is which. I'm gonna wear it all day long, and we're gonna see if there's difference. That's gonna be a video coming up. That's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna just see if it's in my head. Okay, anyway, filling in the brows. Now for a little brow mascara. Again, this is the same every day, no matter what, and it's the, except for the blooper part. It's the NYX Brow Mascara, always the same. So, this is nothing new. I don't think I've ever showed you how I do this. If I have, I apologize. I have over 1,000 videos up here now, so I can't remember all of them, but this is the Revlon Photo Ready Eye Art in, I think it's something topaz. It's in Topaz Twinkle. One side is very sparkly glitter, with like a little wand, like a brush wand applicator. I don't really go for the glitter side. The other side is just a metallic, no glitter doe foot applicator. It's pretty fun. And once it sets, it doesn't move. So I wear this a lot. It's very neutral. If you want a non-neutral option, they have like bright purple and turquoise and lots of those kinds of shades, but I'm going for the kind of neutral look. So you kind of have to work fast though, because it sets pretty quickly. So I do one eye and then I kind of blend out the edges with a synthetic brush. And this is also part of a set, I believe. Maybe you can buy this individually. It's a Real Techniques Dome Shadow Brush is usually what I use to blend it out. Sometimes just to pat it along, did I bring it? I did. I use a concealer brush, and this is from Avon. I think it's like $2 or $3. Also synthetic. Synthetic just tends to work better on liquid or cream eyeshadow products. It also washes out better. I start at the closest to the lash line, kind of pat and draw it on, and then follow kind of the shape of the eye and take it pretty much up to the crease or socket line, depending on the shape of your eye. There's no glitter at all, so if you're worried about how this looks on a mature eye, it actually works just fine. So I pat and then I bring it up into the crease a little bit and dab. Not the kind of dabbing I did in my Nordstrom clothing haul recently. Some of you caught that. I'm glad you got a little giggle out of that. Okay, now that you've got your shiny eyeballs all done, now we need to, well, we don't need to do anything, but I like to add matte to it. So, another staple in my rotation, it's the Physicians Formula Matte Quad in Classic Nudes. And if you're a little worried about how dark it's gonna get, you can start with the lightest of the brown shades and then work yourself up. I'm gonna start with the mid-tone right here, not the mid-tone, but the mid-level brown, I'd say. This guy right here. And with a Coastal Scents BR250, so it's sort of a dupe for the MAC 217, I'm gonna use the tiny little mirror that comes with this. And I'm gonna stick that right, kind of overlay it between kind of the top edge of that metallic shade and into the crease. And just stick that in there, kind of swirling it around, concentrating a little bit more into the outer corner there. I've been doing this over 6 years, and this internet YouTube thing, and you'd think I'd get better at tutorials by now, or makeup. I don't know that I really have, but my goal here was never to be a makeup artist or tell you this is how you should do it. My goal has always been, I'm a regular woman with no background in makeup at all. I'm a mom and just an everyday person, and this is how I do it. And if anything I do is helpful to you, that was my goal. That was all. I just want to share what I do with you, and if you get anything out of this, even if it's a laugh, then I've accomplished something. So I just wanted to share that with anybody who's new to this channel and wondering what on earth she is doing. Okay, so then with a larger fluffy brush, I'm just gonna go into that creamier shade, brow bone shade, and put that on my brow bone and blend out a little bit as well. I guess I don't know why I'm twisted all the way around here. That's starting to get uncomfortable. And blend out. And then, I guess I'll take this brush just with a smaller brush, take that same brown shade that we did in the crease and just run that underneath just to kind of anchor it and balance it a little bit. Like that. Then I'm going to wipe it off and go back. Oops, I put it away. Bringing it back. Take our highlighter and then shaky hands. Put that in the outer corner. Last bit of stuff here. Eyeliner, NYX Glide On pencil is very nice. It's a dark brown. I don't know which one. I'll list it in the description box. Not anything fancy, just run it along the lash line. Trying something new. This is the Max Factor Max Masterpiece mascara. It was sent to me. It's a limited release. Max Factor's apparently huge in Europe, or at least the UK. Not so much here. It used to be available here. It's basically CoverGirl over there. So not sure why we don't have it here. They have a lot of stuff over there that we do not have here in the CoverGirl version, and vice versa. And I want what they have there, and they want what we have here. I don't know why we can't have their stuff, and I don't know why they can't have our stuff, but oh well. It seems nice. It's going on nicely. Okay, just taking down my hair. Can't even tell that I did it this morning now. That's great. All right, last thing is a new lipstick from the drugstore brand Circa, which I think is available at Walgreens. Very pretty pink. Gonna look over here. And, ooh, it's creamy. Nice. Wow, this feels like a very expensive lipstick. I don't know what it's called, but I'll put it in the description box. All right, well, there you have it. That is the full under $10 look. Even my shirt is under $10, like $7 at Target. So thank you so much for tagging me. I love this tag. I love tags. Sometimes it's really hard to come up with a video idea, so it's really great when someone else has thought of it and told you what to do. So if you come up with a tag, or there is a tag floating around out there, other than the what I wore in high school tag, not doing that tag. Not doing that tag. One, I don't remember what I wore in high school. And two, I don't want to revisit the 90s. Been there, done that, bought the makeup. The makeup is expired and we're moving on. Other than that though, it's all good. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not already done this video, consider yourself tagged. I'm not naming names, but you know who you are. Make the video. Can't wait to see it. And if you do, make sure you let me know that you made that video. Send me a tweet or something. I'd love to see it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Today, I want to share with you a little collection of L'Oreal palettes. If you follow me on Snapchat or my vlogs, you have seen these pop up. These are the relatively new quads from L'Oreal.